Hi, Ambassador Teehankee, and hello from Manila. You are in Davos at the World Economic Forum. Can you tell us about the participation of the Philippine delegation? What's the composition and what is your goal at Davos this year?
Oh, hello, Manila. Hello, Mikey. Yes, it's an exciting time. The Philippine delegation, headed by Secretary of Finance Ralph Recto, Speaker Martin Romualdez, and Secretary Cristina Roque of the Department of Trade and Industry.
And you
Well,
also
the
have some
message.
members of the private sector with you, sir.
Yes, of course, and supporting the Philippine government since the WEF is a public-private partnership. We have Mint, GCash here, Martha Sazon, and of course the CEO of Grab Philippines, and
Mhm.
many other of our international partners are here.
And what's the thrust of the Philippine delegation this year amidst all the changes in the trade front?
Yes, so the message is clear that the Philippines is really open for business. Secretary Ralph Recto presented the incentives under the new Create More law. And of course, we are a very young, educated, well-connected population. And it's really the place for AI and infrastructure for high tech. And of course, GCash is one example of fintech leading the growth with $5 billion valuation now for Mint Gcash.
Yeah, very in sync with the theme of this year's World Economic Forum, which is collaboration in the intellectual age. Okay,
Yes,
now
yes.
looking at the bigger picture, let's zoom out a little bit. Can you talk to us about the mood at Davos following the inauguration and the first couple of days of US President Donald Trump? He's making big moves, bold moves on trade. What is the general mood at Davos in response to his shakeup?
Yes, yes. Monday, the first day of Davos, was the day of the US inauguration. So, of course, there is a mood of cautious optimism. He announced, of course, his America First policy. And of course, there is some worry that this will lead to trade wars. At the same time, the pragmatic aspect, businessmen are aware that President Trump is a businessman and wants growth and progress, as well as world peace for the globe, provided America's interests are protected. Of course,
Mhm.
Philippines has always championed Filipino first as well. So our international interaction in trade or economics and investment is should be and must always be for the benefit of the Filipino people.
Okay. What do you think about this economic nationalism? Do you think, given everything that Trump is doing to protect the U.S. economy, do you think that there is going to be economic nationalism? Do you think it's going to be gaining traction worldwide?
Economic nationalism in a good way is very important because if the nations or the citizens of one country don't get the benefit, don't feel the benefits of international cooperation and collaboration, then what are you doing it for? So I think the cautious optimism is that in the intelligent age, AI and high tech is an enabler of greater growth, greater progress, faster. And just the story of Grab Philippines, the story of Mint Gcash, their tremendous growth during the pandemic is related to high tech. So that's the theme in Davos. The
Yeah.
intelligent age is going to lead to greater prosperity, inclusivity, zero poverty. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's those are the big overarching goals for anything: inclusivity, poverty reduction. Going back to the WTO, the WTO is the backbone of global trade, with 164 members representing 98% of global trade. With Trump's protectionist policies, Ambassador Teehankee, how difficult is it making the job of the WTO moving forward?
Well, at the WTO, we have a mood of excitement. We're back in business. Trump has put us back on the map. United States actions in trade always come back to us in the WTO because it's a rules-based organization, treaty-based. So it's very clear President Trump has not withdrawn, and we are actively engaged with U.S. diplomats at the WTO. He has
Mhm,
not announced new tariffs. He
mhm.
has said they will
Yes, yes,
study actively
yeah.
where tariffs will benefit the U.S. So it must be win-win. I think in the WTO, our goal is sustainable development, prosperity for all. So the trade relations must be beneficial to the trading
Mhm.
partners.
Interestingly, during Trump's inauguration, everybody was watching out for policy action on the trade front, but he didn't give any clear direction on trade. He didn't even really mention bold moves on trade during his inauguration speech. From the perspective of the World Trade Organization, why do you think that trade was not included during that inauguration speech, and what does that mean?
Well, in fact, because every trade move has economic repercussions for your own economy. It's only very responsible since we are now a globalized integrated supply chain. One has to be very careful when imposing new tariffs and see its repercussions on your own economy as well as your neighboring economy and the supply chains. So I think the Philippines is well poised to take advantage if there are moves against particular economies like Vietnam, Indonesia. We could be the destination for alternative supply.
Mhm. How can the Philippines capitalize on the changing trade landscape?
Well, we have a very big presence here in Davos. The new Prime Minister of Thailand, I was able to meet her and take a selfie. And then the ASEAN chair, of course, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, is also here, who's a close friend of the Philippines. He is ASEAN chair. And next year, of course, the Philippines will be the ASEAN chair, and hopefully President Marcos will be leading
Mhm.
the delegation next year.
How do you think the Philippines can win in this changing trade environment? What can we do to
Yes,
drive
in the
growth and
in WEF
investment
and
to
at
our
the
country?
WTO.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. At the WEF and the WTO, ASEAN is at the WEF and WTO, ASEAN is indeed a bright spot. We are the 700 million population strong, and the ASEAN way has promoted growth and development in the whole region as well as with our trading partners.
Okay. What can the Philippines do to attract more investments on the trade front, sir?
Well, we presented Create More. Secretary Recto presented the new incentives, which actually brings down, if you look at it, to 12% if you look at the gross income tax rate for corporations. And then we have also less red tape and the enabling technology of computerization of government compliance. So I think this is one of the key. In the Public Service Act, for example, renewable energy is now 100% open to foreign investment.
Okay. On that front, it was in the news. Donald Trump announced a $500 billion investment in AI infrastructure. How can the Philippines get a piece of this?
Yes, so Philippines actually is a major supplier of semiconductors and chips. We have $50 billion of trade. And we also are trying to tap the high value added semiconductor industry. So with all the geopolitical tensions in the Taiwan Straits, we are a possible destination for further high-tech investment in Clark, in Subic, where we have all our free trade zones.